Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to look over the game Dice Miner. It is a 1 to 4 player game published by Atlas Games. Now, I will mention the game comes with a solo mode, which is really nice, but we're not going to go over it in this review. So, in Dice Miner, you're going to play the role of a dwarf, a beer-drinking dwarf who is trying to mine 3 different mountains and become the wealthiest dwarf. So let's go ahead down to the table here, and I'll give you a general overview of how the game plays, and then we'll come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, so today we're going to take a look at Dice Miner. Dice Miner is a game where you're going to go through 3 different rounds and try to score up as many points as you can for your dice that you've collected, and the person with the most points at the end of the game wins. To start out the game, you're going to get one of these score sheets here. So every player will get a score sheet. And each player will randomly get one of these bonus characters. When you get your bonus character, each one of these has a corresponding bonus that you'll get every time you score. Like here you get a 1 magic, and here you get a 1 face die. Here you get a shield, and here you get 1 magic die. Here you'll get a gem, and here you'll get a pickaxe. Now, these will be, and here you get 3 magic die. All right, so we'll go over the importance and how each of these dice work in a second, but basically what you're going to do is you're going to put all your dice in this bag. You're going to fill up this, doesn't matter if they fall out, just get them in there. You're going to fill out this mountain of dice, and you'll take out your extra. In the video they pour it over, but that's a lot of noise. Anyway, so now that you have your mountain set up, you're going to pick whoever goes first, and they're going to take 1 die. And in turn order, everyone's going to take a die. So that's basically how you're going to work this. When you take a die, you can only take from the top. So I'll be able to take from here or here. So I could take this die or this die. Once this is gone, someone could pick from these 3 locations. Now, how are dice important? Well, dice are important because of how they score. There's only 3 different types of dice that can score. There's your sequential numbered die, there is your gem die, and then there is your, I forget what they call these ones, but they're basically like your calamity dice of either cave-in or dragons. Now, in the, one thing I did forget, in the rule book for how to determine the first player, you actually roll this die, and then whoever has the highest number wins. The beer is a 6. Now, let's go over scoring so you know for each one. So for scoring for these white dice, you have to have dice that are sequential. If you don't have dice that are sequential, the non-sequential dice don't score. So it has to start from 1 and go up to 5. If you had a 1 by itself, it would score. So this would be here. Let's get an example here. So let's make this one a 5. So this would be 1 plus 2 plus 3, so 6 points. But since there's no 4, this 5 doesn't give you any points at all. That's how these guys work. The next one up is going to be your gemstones, these guys right here. And these are just points equal to the number that are there. So if I had this die here, and that was the only one I had 2. Now these dice right here, like this cave-in and such, these dice are negative points equal to the number that you see on here. So there's 3 boulders, this is 3 negative points. Dragons are the same. However dragons many you see, that's how many negative points you get. 2, and then here's 4. Now, what is cool is if you have, I'll just throw this die on here. If you have a pickaxe, these become positive. No matter how many of these dice you have, you only need 1 pickaxe. If you have multiple pickaxes, it actually becomes multiplicative. So if I have 2 pickaxes and I had this 3 boulders, I would actually get 6 points here instead of 6 negative points, or 3 negative points. Same with the dragons with the shield. This is what the shield looks like here. It's only on one side, so the dragon shield's the hardest. That'll give you positive points for the dragons. Now, That's it for scoring dice. You don't have any other scoring dice. You'll notice that there's other things in here. They don't score. So you can have beers. They won't give you any points at all. And you can have these magic dice. They don't give you any points at all. You can have these treasure chests. They don't give you any other points either. But they do something different. On your turn, if you have a beer, which is available in, I believe, all the dice, you can say cheers, pick an opponent, roll that dice, and I rolled another beer, and you give that die to that player. On your turn, you're allowed to break some rules. You're allowed to get 2 dice instead of 1. And when you do that, you can actually grab from the sides or the top. And you grab these in any order you want. So I could actually pull this down and then grab this one if I wanted, after I handed that beer off. That's the beers. The other thing you can do is there's these magic. So these guys right here at the end of the round before scoring, I can spend as many as I want of these and re-roll that many dice. I can't re-roll this magic die if I spend it, but I can re-roll another magic die if I wanted to, or any other dice. So that pesky 5 that I had out there, I could use a magic die to re-roll it to see if I could try to maybe get some points out of it. That's what the magic dice do. The last one is these treasure chests. And this was the most confusing portion for me for the game, but it's pretty simple. Basically, after the scoring's done, however many treasure chests you have, you can pick that many dice, which can include this die with treasure chests on it, and cash them. And when you do that, you don't have to re-roll those dice. Because at the end of the round, you're going to re-roll all the other dice, and then that's going to be the dice that you're going to start the next round with, and you're going to refill this mountain. So if I have a 1 here, I'm probably not going to want to re-roll that, because I want to at least make sure that I at least have a 1 there so I can score. And once all that's done, you're going to refill this mountain and go again. You'll do that 3 times. Now, the end of the round will end when the last die is picked out of here. That's what ends the end of the round. That's it for Dice Miner. That is the rules for how to play it. Let's go ahead back up the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on Dice Miner. So Dice Miner is a really, really fun game. It has big chunky dice. The component quality is amazing in the game. Rolling those dice feels a lot of fun, and there's some player interaction in the game with those with the beer dice, and it's just a lot of fun just drafting the dice out of those mountains and getting your points. Points actually, for as much like what you would think would be a lot of randomness and chaoticness, where I'm re-rolling dice every round and stuff, really works out really well. And I do like the fact that they have those magic dice that you can use to re-roll dice, so that you might have had to pull that 4 dragon, you don't want to lose 4 points, let's roll that. Or you didn't get your sequence of the white dice, and you're going to try it now. Really good. I like just everything about it. I like the little player powers. They're not crazy. They just give you a little bit of a bonus in there that's unique to you, which I like a lot. There's just a lot of things to like about this game. Now, it's not going to be like a heavy, complex game. It's a light game. So if you're looking for a fun, light game to play for 2 to 4 players or solo yourself, this is a game you may want to check out. It's very easy to teach. It's very quick to play. It plays in like 20 to 30 minutes maybe. So you can get multiple games down on this. You could play this at the end of a game night. It's fun for that too. So I do highly recommend Dice Miner. Thank you for watching.